Long before, long before the invention of printing book, people valued book as precious treasures of human knowledge and experiment. Handwriting manuscript to the months of writing and were collected and kept with the greatest care. A rough calculation showed nowadays there are more books on a planet than men light. The books of today reflect such a large scope of information that it's particularly impossible to mention all time of length. Approximately, we can define different kinds of book as fashion and non-fashion. Science fiction, biographics, books about politics, economic and social subjects, travel books, romance, thrillers, adventure and love stories, detective stories, fairy tales and fantasies, ghost story, animal and family story. The family English philosophers Frank Bacon said, some books are to be tasted, others to be swallowed, and some few to chew and digest. To mind, all books are to be tasted. A modern, well-educated person should be able to use textbooks such as reference books, dictionaries, encyclopedias, and vocabularies. These books serve the purpose of learning, teaching, and instructing. In fact, you have tested all the other books, and it's well to know where to suit your personal interest. A well-written novel usually makes a matter, romance, and a great fare. Some women would hook on the tales where the Cinderella must see the megastar who falls for her. Sometimes a villains come to his happiness, murder flows. I think this such an unbelievable tale are just the thing for lazy holiday reading. Most of the mysteries and horror books are called escapists, to take away the everyday problem into a land of the witchcraft, ghosts, and the miracles. Some of them are highly enjoyable with a high fixed-paced plot and a hero that resembles a superhero. As a rule, people settle on reels and detective stories or fast-moving trailers. They are the favorite intrigue. They are bizarre. However, this is another type of book intended to children digestible. They are worked by brilliant minds of mankind. You need a certain intelligence and experience to digest them. Pretty often, our comprehension of pilots and the master journalist's literary work changes as well as we grow up. There's a pursuit has studied dictionaries and lectures to understand the meaning of elegance and metaphors. As Manfred used to say, there's a real masterpiece makes you share the feeling and emotion of people who used to live hundreds of years ago, thousands of miles away. In conclusions, I would like to prolong the Francis Bacon's Bacon, 应该叫 Bacon 还是 Bacon's quotations and advise the reader to eat as many books as possible, no matter whether you have to swallow, choose, or digest it. As for my favorite book, it was written by it was published and it is a short of horror story, love story act. It's one of the entertaining books I have ever read. I hold your attention for a start and becomes more shocking as it process. Is a good title. The hero There's a turning point when one of the most interesting aspects of the story is the reader feels all hopes and feelings. This book, which once you started, is impossible to put down. Answer the question: how do you understand F. Bacon's word? How can you spell the questions? Book reflect the nature and the moral experience of the creators. We are what we read. Choose an author as you choose a friend. We read the trends to mind, to feed the mind, and to rest the mind, to increase the mind or escape the mind. There's book to read, book to reread, and books not to read at all.